Hey there, what's going on? It's Lisa here, Raw Food for Kids. Hope you're having an awesome day. I am going to be making Durian Creme Brulee Timbale. Does that sound awesome? This is going to be the easiest recipe, but it's going to look 5-star, 5 diamonds. So when you're entertaining and you need a good conversation piece, you could go to the Asian market and get durian and make this dessert. So what is durian? What I'm going to be using is frozen durian. I didn't have a chance to get my hands on fresh, but it's very popular in Malaysia and Thailand, and it's a big, huge fruit. It almost looks like a giant jackfruit. The pods is what you want to eat. It's this kind of prickly fruit. And anyways, in the Asian market, you can find this in the freezer section. This is fresh durian, Montong seedless. I didn't have any problem finding it in my Asian market. Seedless frozen durian, and it's the pods. There was 3 of them in here. 2 big ones and 1 small one. It was about $6. And I never had it before. I thought last night, I bought this a couple weeks ago. I wanted to try it. And I've been seeing everybody on the fruit festival eating durian. I'm like, oh man, I got it in my freezer. I need to taste it and see what I can do with it. So anyways, I tasted it. And by the way, this is what we're going to make. I'll explain to you. This is a Durian Creme Brulee Timbale. Beautiful. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. I didn't find that it smelled. Sometimes I hear all the time that it has this like horrible odor, rotten smell. Just people can't get past that. I don't know, garlic. I mean, you hear all kinds of stuff. So don't ever be afraid with food. It's just food. And what one person might think is awful, you might think is totally delicious. So you have to try things for yourself. So I encourage everyone to go out and get some durian, frozen durian if you can't get fresh, and give this a try, because I thought that the texture, it was very rich. It melted in my mouth. It was totally the consistency of a creme brulee, an ice cream, a pudding. It's very heavy. You don't need to eat much of it. And very rich, and I thought it had a very unique smell and flavor. Maybe I just got lucky, and I know with the frozen it probably takes away from a lot of the smell, but I thought it actually smelled a little sweet, like kind of like a passion fruit kind of smell. And the taste I thought was just very unique. It actually tastes like if I had been making something, baking something, and had tons of ingredients in it. That's what the durian tasted like, but it's just durian. So to make this timbale, and what a timbale basically is creme brulee is normally made in a ramekin, in a water bath. It's egg yolks, vanilla, if you're making a vanilla creme brulee, heavy cream, it's very rich. And normally it's topped with some sugar that you torch, and you got that nice crunch. Well, I didn't want to do the sugar with the blowtorch or under the salamander, because I didn't want to use sugar, and I didn't want to have to cook it. So what I thought I would do is a timbale, which is basically a shaped ramekin that's kind of inverted and makes a pretty little shape. So what I use so that the everyday person can make this is an ice cream tray, an ice cube tray. Excuse me. This is great. I use this for a bento box for kids. And what's neat about this is you can make little mini ones, a ton of them ahead of time, and they just pop right out, and you got little mini baby desserts. And I'm going to make a little almond kind of shortbread crust that I'm going to put on the bottom, see? And it gives it a little texture. So you have the creamy richness of the durian, and then the crunchiness of the almond kind of cookie on the bottom. And this is out of the freezer, and durian is so rich that even out of the freezer, where'd my knife go? You can cut it like ice cream. See that? Doesn't that look good? I had one this morning for breakfast. I wanted to test this out last night just to make sure it came out good. Now for this recipe, like I said, it's 5 ingredients. I'm going to put this durian back in the freezer. We're going to make the durian creme brulee, which I'm basically just going to use durian, and I'm going to use vanilla. And last night I used vanilla extract, which is more readily available for people. But because I happen to have a fresh vanilla pod, I thought I would use this to put in the durian. And this is, you know, durian's something kind of special. I don't have it on that often, but if you get your hands on a vanilla bean, you can find them pretty reasonably priced. You don't have to spend $15 on one vanilla bean, but you'll see little specks of vanilla, and it's kind of the difference between using the water from a fresh young Thai coconut versus in a carton. Your recipe is still going to come out good. You know, you might not notice a huge difference, but the fresh is obviously going to, you know, be a little nicer. So, so if you can, give this a try. I'm going to show you how to open it, get the seeds out, and what you can do with, basically utilize everything so it won't go to waste. Alright, so let's get started. I'm actually going to make the crust first. So for this, I'm going to use enough crust to make for one big pot of durian. Let me put this back in the freezer, actually. Frost. One big pot, because it's rich, and I made it a little bit last night, and I'm just making it for me just to show you guys. So multiply is needed. But I got a half a cup of almonds. I'm just doing this right in the food processor. Then I'm going to put in, so half a cup of almonds, I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of raw honey, and 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. I don't really use the oils too much anymore, except for if I'm making kind of like a dessert. I just think that it gives it a nice little hint of coconut, and also really helps to kind of keep it together. So, without making it too sweet. So 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and 1 tablespoon of honey. That is it, guys. 3 ingredients for this crust. Just put this on, and you just want to kind of really chop it up a bit. Done. It'll kind of come together, and you want it, you know, the nuts just get like really finely chopped, but you can see I can push it together with my hands. So I'm just going to put that right in here. So the crust is done. We don't even need to wash the blender. I wanted to do the crust first because I could just scrape this out really easily, and then I can just make the Durian Creme Brulee right in the same blender without having to mess with washing it. Otherwise, the creme brulee part will make it kind of wet, and we don't need that for our crust. So there's the crust. All right, I'm going to show you, put it all together here in 1 second. Like I said, this is great if you have people over because it's something different. People like different. It looks beautiful. It's elegant. And, you know, you could even make a little berry sauce, too. It'd be good on it. But anyways, let's make the creme brulee. So here's the vanilla bean. All you want to do is you just want to put it on a cutting board and take a sharp knife. And you want to just cut the bean right down the middle. All right, just hold it and just go right down the middle. A fresh vanilla bean. Oh, man, it just smells so good. And you want the little seeds out of it. Okay, it doesn't look like much in here. I'm going to use half. See, just scrape right off. And that is just really intense flavor there. And what I thought would be cool about using the fresh vanilla bean is kind of like when I made the Caesar dressing and I said put in the coarse black pepper. Because it's pretty to see the little specks of pepper. Well, the same thing. People eat with their eyes. It's really pretty to see little specks of vanilla. Just like you used to get the vanilla bean ice cream. And you see the little specks. It's just really pretty. So, there we go. So that's the vanilla seeds in there. And these, the little shell part, you can let this kind of dry. And just leave it out, let it dry out real good. And then you could just put this in a coffee grinder and just basically pulverize it to a powder. And then you have like a little vanilla powder. Some people put this in like their sugar to make vanilla sugar. But, you know, for raw purposes, I think if you just put in the spice grinder and make a little vanilla powder, that would be really good in desserts too. Do a lot with that. So now I'm going to put in, so I got and if you, so that was the half of one vanilla pod. But if you didn't have that, put in about a teaspoon of vanilla extract would be just fine. And I just went ahead and took one durian and I just cut it up in some pieces just for time purposes to help blend this up. And this turns creamy in a matter of a second here. So we're just gonna and what you want to do with your little your little ice cube trays is, this is what I did. I just took a little bit of coconut oil, and just with my finger, I just rubbed a little coconut oil in the tray. And this is going to help so that it just pops right out. You don't need much, just put a little bit in your finger. And you'll put this in the freezer, and like I said, you could do this way ahead of time. It's going to be absolutely fine. Or you can leave it in there for just a few hours, maybe like 4 hours, maybe even 2. I mean, it doesn't have to be solid frozen. It'll still stay together. But, you know, 4 to 6 hours, you can eat it, or just overnight. Oh, man. Look at that, guys. Can you see that? Oh, with the specks of the it looks like vanilla bean ice cream. See that? Let me give it a little taste. I really like the taste, guys. That is so delicious. That tastes like a vanilla bean creme brulee. I mean, it is just excellent. Is really good. So, it's all you want to do. You want to take your little molds, and you just want to scoop this durian creme brulee. You can fill it up pretty high, right in to your little greased ice cube trays. Okay? And I'll just do 2 to show you for time purposes. Kind of push it down a little bit. That way, it'll come out nice and smooth like this. You won't have any kind of empty spaces, you know, little air pockets. And then, all you do, see, I filled 2 of them, is take your almond crust, and you just put this right on top, okay? As thick as you want. Just cover it up. And what I did was I just put a little bit of saran wrap right over the top of the crust. And then all you do is when you're ready to serve it, you don't need to let it defrost or anything like that, is you just, so see I got my crust on there, like that, is pull it out and just take a knife. Keep on losing my utensils. Here we go. Just take your knife, and all you want to do is just run your knife just along the side. You can use a butter knife. You don't want to ruin your plastic with a sharp knife, but just run your knife through this around the edges, and it'll just pop right up. It'll just pop right out, and you could serve this at a dinner party. I mean, this one I didn't use the vanilla specks, so I want to save it for the demo. But can you imagine seeing the little specks of vanilla bean in this? I mean, beautiful. And like I said, if you wanted to do a little fruit coulis, just take some fresh fruit, some strawberries or raspberries, fresh or frozen, and just puree it up. You could strain it and just put a little sauce and serve this for a nice romantic dinner, dessert, or you got company, like I said. So anyways, Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to these videos if you haven't.